Hey, how's it going? Rich from Elk Endeavors here. And today, I wanted to, I think I'm live. Let's see, make sure it's live. There we go. Hey, how's it going? Rich from Elk Endeavors here. Today I wanted to do, this is my first Facebook Live. I'm very excited. And I wanted to talk about chasing your dreams. Okay. And that's something that I think is a really, really important thing, particularly in this time of coronavirus and all the things that are going on right now, and how stressful everything is, and how important it is that we stick together. We do the things that we need to do when we know we need to do, and we continue to support ourselves, and take care of ourselves. And so I wanted to talk about chasing your dreams in the sense of, as inspired by a show called The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. And so as people jump on, hopefully we have some visitors here. I'd love to see you. But my what I was really after today was really looking at how the marvelous Mrs. Maisel is really helpful to understand what you have to do in order to succeed. And right now, with everything going on with the virus and the pandemic, it's really very interesting that sports, graduations, all these different things have been canceled due to the virus, and the fact that we can't get together and do the things that we usually do. And a while ago, I heard Russell Brunson, who is the owner and founder of ClickFunnels, co-founder of ClickFunnels. He said something about how he doesn't watch sports very much, and he was a wrestler. He got through college as a wrestler, and went to Boise State, and athletics was his life. But like now that he's older, he said he doesn't watch sports, and the reason he doesn't do that is because when you watch sports, you're watching someone else chase and earn and become their dreams, right? And you're sitting there, just kind of watching from your couch and watching from the sidelines. So he said, I'd rather be in the trenches and hear about the sports, and now and again, but like to spend your time every week or every day, or if we had baseball right now, and we were home stuck with the coronavirus, we'd be watching baseball if they were able to play, and that's 3 hours a day, right? Watching baseball. Sunday, people spend the entire day Sunday watching football, and I do too. Like I watch the Eagles. I'm an Eagles fan, so sometimes I'll watch the Eagles. But ultimately, I have other things I need to be doing on Sundays. I hang out with my kids, hang out with my family. Do things around the house. So the idea of spending 4 hours watching a football game, while enticing, is I just don't, I can't be bothered with it. Right? I'd rather hear about it later. So at any rate, I've been watching this show called The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and it's on Prime. And I've mentioned I've mentioned how I've watched it. And I thought it was I didn't think it was a Netflix show, but it had a better ring if it was a Netflix show, because people binge Netflix. They don't binge Amazon Prime, as a saying. But so in the marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and this is how I want to illustrate this. The woman, Midge, she becomes a comedian, and she comes by it quite by accident, right? She comes by it. She's in a bar, and hey Bruno, thanks for coming. She's in a bar, and she's there. And she sort of gets up on stage and just starts ranting on some things that are going on in her life. And that's the way she becomes a comedian. And she realizes that it's something that she can do and she wants to do. And so, as I'm watching the show, I'm realizing that here is a woman. I'm watching a woman on stage. I'm watching a woman who's a character become famous and doing something that she loves and doing something that she didn't really dream of it. But now that it's here, it's kind of like, well, she's following her dreams. She's following her passion. And what really kind of stuck with me was the fact that the actress who plays Midge Maisel on the show, she's reached her dream, right? So you've got an actress that's reached her dream of being on television and being, theoretically, I'm sure she had a lot of things going on and trying to become a star. She's reached that dream, and then she's playing a character that's also trying to reach her dream. And here I am watching it, right? I'm watching it on the sidelines. I'm seeing what's going on, and it was and that there's nothing wrong with that, right? But it really illustrated to me that I needed to take this time to become the person that I want to be and become the person that I deserve to be and that I've dreamed of. And that's something that, I think I was blessed with this information and this perspective on things. And I hadn't ever really thought about it in that way. Hey, Shyla, how are you? Thanks for coming. Um, so yeah, so when I really think about it, like the amount of time we're in this pandemic, we're struggling through it, and people have more time on their hands than they ever have. And what do you hear about when people, when people are trying to do something, but they don't have time? They're constantly saying they don't have time. I wish I had time to do this. Wish I had time to do that. Well, now you do, right? And so what I want to impart today is that if you have been struggling, if you've been thinking about starting a business, if you've been thinking about reading a book, if you've been thinking about doing whatever it is that you've been thinking about doing, now's the time, right? You have the time. And I think people are unprepared for this time, the amount of time. We're not used to, as a society, as people, we're not used to having this amount of time to work with. And now that we have it, we're kind of like, getting used to that, right? And for the last month, I think people were sort of figuring out, okay, well, what do I do with all this time? What do I, and they've gotten through, like I've gotten through a lot of Netflix shows. I've gotten through a lot of chores around the house. But I was also, I immediately picked up on the fact that I need to start learning, and I needed to start learning now. And if I don't come out of this thing with a viable internet business, then I failed. I failed myself. I failed my family. I failed, and so that's not an option. That's not something like, this is something that I've dreamed of. I mean, I hate what's happening in the world, but I'd be remiss if I didn't take advantage of it. If I didn't say, you know what, I have to do this. I have to do it now. I'm going to put my all into it. I'm doing my job. I'm doing my business. I'm able to do both. I've got a lot of other stuff going on in my life, but now's the time. And if I don't take advantage of it now, I think people have gotten the ideas of the idea of like, okay, I gotta binge watch the Netflix, and I've gotta like make pan ping pong ball things, all that's fun and it's great, but there's a lot of things that you can be doing, and a lot of things that you should be doing in order to make sure that your business and whatever you've strived for is successful. So going back to the marvelous Mrs. Maisel, she's someone who falls into the ability. She realizes like, okay, I have this ability. I had no idea how funny I was. And she fumbles with it, right? It's not something that she expected to have happen. Her character's flawed in the sense that she can't keep her mouth shut, and she's always trying to be funny, and she doesn't know when to stop. But ultimately, it becomes her dream, and she pushes toward it. She's doing it. She's taking the steps. She's taking the lumps. She's taking the black eyes. And that's what fortunately, I'm very fortunate in that I got into this business of affiliate marketing in February of last year. So this isn't like I'm starting right now. I'm realizing that because I know how much time it requires of me, I was doing the affiliate marketing business at night, like after my wife went to bed, I would stay up until, 2 o'clock in the morning and watching my videos and doing the work that I had to do. And then I'd get up and go to my regular job and then come home and hang out with my kids and do it all over again. And now I have this like extreme gift of time that other people, all these people that are working on the front lines and the first responders and the nurses and doctors that are working in the hospitals, God bless them. And I really do believe that I would be doing them a disservice if I didn't stay home and take care of what I have been wanting to take care of. So that's really, the long and short of what I wanted to talk about is that, we are without sports right now. And I think it's a really, really important thing to understand that, there's nothing wrong with sports, but when you're watching sports, you are watching other people achieve their dreams. And again, very inspirational, wonderful things to think about. But you could be achieving your dreams while instead of spending all that time watching sports, which we don't have the luxury of watching right now. But instead of spending that time, even when they come back and it's time to root on your football team or your hockey team or whoever, think about that. Think about how much time you're spending watching other people achieve their dreams as opposed to you going out there and achieving your dreams. And that's really, and again, going back to Mrs. Maisel, I know I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself, but like I watched her, like I watched all 3 seasons, great show, a lot of fun. Got to watch it with my mom, which is really cool. But at the same time, it's kind of like, okay, well, it really made me realize that she put the work in. She's doing the time. She's got the manager. She's, losing money. She's spending money. She's investing money. She's doing, she's away from her kids. All these different sacrifices that she had to make, and she didn't have the time. This was during her regular life. We now, as people online, people trying to start a business online, we have the time. And we must, it's our responsibility to take advantage of that time and really push forward and move our businesses forward so that when we come out of this, we have a viable business that we can help people with. Because people that are out of they're out of their jobs, they don't know which way is up. They don't know where their next, paycheck's coming from, much less, $100 is coming from. And we're fortunate, like I'm fortunate, and I know, Shyla and David or Bruno, you guys are fortunate in the fact that you've got a business going, right? And it's our job to make sure that people sort of understand that and start figuring that out for themselves. So thank you very much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. It's so much fun to actually see people on the live. It's a lot of fun. I've got like 4 eyeballs here. And I appreciate all my friends coming out and supporting me. Yeah, definitely comment on the videos and I'll certainly write you back. And again, appreciate it. My name is Rich. I'm with Elk Endeavors. I started Elk Endeavors back in February of 2019, and I've been working on it. So please follow me on YouTube. Hit me up and take a look at my channel. It's Elk Endeavors. And yeah, love to see you, and I'd love to have your subscription and your support. And let me know if there's other things that you want to know about. So thank you very much, and appreciate it. Have a great day.